Visit grizzly.com to see our full lineup of lathe chisels.
Microjig, maker of the gripper. Work safer, work smarter.
Before I get started, I just want to give a big thank you to Dave and Eric over at makeawoodsign.com. They took my logo and hand carved it into a wooden sign, and it came out really cool. And they also have a YouTube channel, so if you go to Old Dave 100, they have a bunch of different YouTube videos on how to hand carve wooden signs, so check them out. It's not very often that I start off a project with a glue up, but I need to start this one by gluing together 2 pieces of 3/4 inch thick MDF. I have my MDF sandwich out of the clamps, and I'm going to flush up 2 of the edges, and then the opposite edges I'll cut to length and width. I'm going to cover both sides of this MDF core with 2 pieces of plastic laminate. Now, I have read that if you only do one side of MDF, that over time the MDF can actually warp. But this MDF is 1.5 inches thick with 2 pieces of 3/4 glued together. So it's probably thick enough that it wouldn't warp over time, but just to be safe, I'm going to do both sides. I'm going to flush the plastic laminate to the MDF core on both sides using a pattern bit at the router table. And I'm going to do this wearing gloves, but I'm going to keep my hands far away from the bit. I'm wearing gloves because the edges of the plastic laminate are very sharp. And in fact, when I bought this plastic laminate, I cut myself before I even left the store with it. So it's pretty sharp. I gave each edge a light pass at the table saw just to get rid of the glue drips that were left over from the contact cement. And I also replaced my flush trim bit with a 45-degree chamfer bit, and I'm going to give each edge on each face just a light pass. I have my stacked dado blade installed, and I'm going to make a dado, one on each side of the drill press table, for some T-track, which is going to allow the fence to move forward and back and lock down. I'm going to use the MDF cutoff from the drill press top to make a fence. And while I still have the stacked dado set installed in my table saw, I'm going to make a dado to receive a T-track, which will hold the positive stops. I want my drill press table to have a removable insert. That way over time, as it gets beat up, it can just be replaced. But before I can mark out for the location of the removable insert, I want to attach the table to my cast iron drill press table. Now, in order to do that, I had to make a few holes in each corner of the drill press table in order to attach my homemade drill press table. And I've made 3 already, and I just need to drill for 1 more hole. With the help of my drill press laser, I can mark for center of the drill bit, and now I know exactly where to place the removable insert. I used a square to align my clamp guide square to the table surface, and with some double stick tape and some scrap wood, I placed the piece of wood up against the clamp guide and pushed it into the table surface. And I'll use these blocks of wood, I'll put 2 more here, and I'll use these to guide a guide bushing and a handheld router to carve out the recess. I attached a brass collar to my plunge router, and this brass collar will ride around the inside of those pieces of scrap wood that I taped down to the drill press table. And this will give me the recess that I need with rounded corners. Now I'm going to turn my attention back to the drill press fence, and I bought a section of T-track that was 24 inches long. That's just the length that they sold it in, so that's the length that my fence is going to be. I need to pre-drill for some holes for the T-track for the fence, and I'm going to use my new drill press table already. I don't have the insert made yet, but that's okay. This will still work fine. I have a bunch of these T-bolts, but they're too short for this fence. So instead of going out and buying more T-bolts, I'm just going to use what I have, and I'm going to make a recess in the fence so that I'll be able to attach a knob from the top. For the replaceable inserts, I'm going to use some scrap poplar that I had laying around, but you could also use MDF for this as well. I made a finger recess in the insert, but it was still a little tough to get out, so I made 2 holes in the back for screws that I'll just insert when it's time to replace the insert. These guys that I just made can be used as hold downs to hold down small pieces of work, and they work really well. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I'd also ask that you consider becoming a patron of Garage Woodworks and support what I do here. And you can find more about my Patreon page and what I have to offer by going to a link in the description, and there should be a link somewhere over here. Thanks for watching, guys.